Hello, welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of Punishment 2, Return of Amanda, by Olivia Julius. The revelation hung in the air, and I stood frozen in the crowd, my heart was pounding in my chest. The once celebratory atmosphere had transformed into a sea of murmurs and curious gazes at me. Emily and Brittany looked at me as they wondered what I was going to do. Rhea, basking in the chaos she had unleashed, wore a triumphant smile as she smiled down at me. The crowd's reaction was a blend of shock, disbelief, and judgment. Whispers and murmurs swept through the onlookers, creating an uncomfortable tension. The mayor came back on stage and took the microphone away from Rhea and ordered her off the stage. I felt exposed and vulnerable, my secret laid bare for everyone to see. The weight of judgment bore down on me, and I wished for the ground to swallow me whole. Suddenly I felt like an imposter in front of everyone. "I can't believe it," someone in the crowd muttered. I looked up to see a lady looking down at me. She was holding her young toddler daughter in her arms. I backed away slowly, not sure what to say or do. My secret was out. And now everyone knows that I really am a boy in a dress. The mayor, attempting to regain control of the situation, stepped forward. "Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that, it seems we need to kid-proof our microphone." The mayor tried to laugh a little to relieve the tension, but no one else did. The damage was already done. The revelation hung over me like a dark cloud, and I faced a barrage of stares and whispers. Rhea had achieved her goal of exposing me, and I felt a mix of anger and humiliation. Ain't if I had been born a girl, Rhea's popularity in the town and need for attention would have placed doubts in the head of everyone. Everyone that passed by me was probably wondering if I really could be a boy. Rhea accomplished everything that she wanted to. Brittany placed a comforting hand on my shoulder. "We'll figure this out, Amanda. Don't worry." But the worry lingered, and the aftermath of Rhea's revelation loomed large around me. As we retreated from the crowd, I could hear murmurs and whispers follow. I wasn't sure if it was in my head or in the open for everyone to hear. I felt the hand on my shoulder and turned to see it was my dad walking next to me. "Don't worry," he said, just loud enough for me to hear. "Your mom and Aunt Georgia are going to get Rhea out of here." I nodded my head, not sure what to say, and I started to follow Dad out of the crowd. "Maybe he can save me," assure everyone that he has always had a daughter. Emily stopped me and kept me from following my dad. Dad also stopped and looked at Emily. "Hey, Amanda, wait!" Emily's voice held a firm yet compassionate tone. She glanced around at the crowd, many of whom were still murmuring and exchanging glances. "We can't let Rhea ruin everything! We need to face this together!" Brittany, standing beside us, nodded in agreement. "She's right! We won't let her win! You're still our friend, no matter what anyone else thinks!" I felt a mix of gratitude and vulnerability. The support from Brittany and Emily was a lifeline during the turmoil. Taking a deep breath, I faced them. Emily gave me a reassuring smile. "Let's go find a quieter place to talk. Away from the chaos." I looked over to Dad. The way he looked around was different than any time that I have ever seen him. He looked worried about what happened. "Can I stay with Brittany and Emily?" I asked, taking their hands. Dad looked around at the crowd and saw that interest in me was waning, so he nodded his head. "If there are any problems, come and get me immediately," he spoke. Brittany, Emily, and I all nodded our head in unison. We navigated through the crowd, still aware of the curious gazes and whispers that followed us. Eventually, we found a quiet corner away from the crowd, where we could gather our thoughts. I sat down on a bench, not caring that I didn't tuck my dress under me. Brittany stood guard over Emily and I, as Emily sat down next to me and gave me a sideways hug. I looked at her. How could Rhea be so mean to me about being a boy in a dress when Emily, who was Rhea's best friend up until a year ago, is transgender? Has Rhea ever picked on you for being trans? I asked, looking down at the ground. She doesn't know I'm transgender, Emily said. When I moved here, I was sworn to secrecy by both of my mothers to never tell anyone. She paused for a moment and sighed. I guess this is the reason. I sat there, absorbing Emily's revelation. It struck me as ironic and unfair that Rhea, who was once Emily's best friend, would use my identity against me while remaining oblivious to Emily's old identity. The complexity of the situation weighed heavily on me. I can't believe she'd do this, Brittany chimed in, her expression a mix of frustration and disbelief. Using something personal against someone just to win a contest? That's low. I'm sorry, Amanda, Emily said sincerely. Rhea's actions don't define you. We'll get through this together. I appreciated their support, but the reality of the situation still hung over me. The town now knew my secret, and I wasn't sure how they would react. My mind raced with thoughts of judgment, ridicule, and isolation. Just then, Aunt Georgia approached with a concerned look on her face. Amanda, your mom and I have taken care of Rhea. She won't be causing any more trouble, but we need to talk about what happened. I nodded, feeling a mix of relief and apprehension. Aunt Georgia motioned for us to follow her to the trailer office that was behind the stage, where we could discuss the situation away from the prying eyes and ears of the crowd. As we walked, Brittany remained steadfast by my side, and Emily offered a reassuring smile. Their support provided a glimmer of strength in a challenging moment. Once we were in the office, Aunt Georgia began, "First, I want you to know that we're here for you. Your mom and I love you, and we'll navigate this together. Now, let's talk about what happened and figure out how we can address the situation." I took a deep breath, grateful for the support of my family and friends. Despite the unexpected turn of events, I knew that facing the aftermath would be a crucial step in reclaiming control of my narrative. I took my phone out of the purse that I have been borrowing from Brittany. I opened the voice recorder app and played the audio message that was between Rhea and I just before the contest. "You're just mad that you lost to a boy last year," I said in the recording. "Besides, you don't have any proof. I got my ID back last year, remember?" You could hear Rhea chuckle a little as she replied to me. "Do you not think I don't know how to take a photo of it? Plus, that's not all I have. Trust me, Adam, you need to make me Easter princess. Understood? Turn it off," Aunt Georgia said with a sigh. "I'll let her father know that she's permanently banned from attending any more of my events." "Am I in trouble?" I asked, now worried. Aunt Georgia sighed, her expression softening. "No, Amanda. You're not in trouble. Rhea, on the other hand, will have to face the consequences of her actions. What she did was not only unfair to you but also malicious. We won't let her ruin the spirit of Easter for everyone. Dot will handle the situation with her parents and make sure Rhea understands the severity of her actions. You, on the other hand, have our full support," Mom said. I nodded, feeling a mix of relief and gratitude. The weight of the situation began to lift, knowing that Rhea wasn't going to affect me anymore. "But," Aunt Georgia continued, "we also need to talk about what you want to do next. We can take you back to my place where Ethan will lend you some of his clothes and you can be Adam for the rest of the fair, or you can stay wearing the dress until the photos are taken, then change into the girl clothes that Brittany picked out for you at the house to ride the rides in and stay being Amanda." I looked at Brittany and Emily, both smiled at me. I took a moment to consider Aunt Georgia's suggestion. The weight of the dress felt different now, no longer a shield of secrecy but a symbol of resilience. I glanced at Brittany and Emily, who continued to stand by my side, their expressions filled with unwavering support. "I'll stay as Amanda," I said, surprising even myself with the conviction in my voice. "I won't let Rhea's actions dictate how I have fun on my vacation. Besides, I have friends like Brittany and Emily who will be with me every step of the way."